Hey everybody, it's your girl Delight of Fitness, and today is Monday. I was in a couple of rooms, Clubhouse, and I gotta tell you, they threw out some gems, Breakfast of Champions, and I wanted to share it. Mindset, your mindset. Now, I jump around from room to room, Clubhouse, and I do. Based on where your head is at, that's where your energy flows. So wherever your head is at, your energy flows. So I was in a room, and I went through several rooms in Clubhouse, right? So some rooms was talking about, let's just say it, race. What race I am, what I'm labeled, what black people are called. Like, back in the days, some black people want to be called black. Some black people don't want to be called black. Black people want to be called melanin. Some black people want to be called whatever. Now, why I bring this up is because to me, it depends on the company you keep. Basically, dictate the life that you live. Now, I went in the room real quick to drop off some gems about cancer awareness, and it was interesting because a lot of the conversations people have is really why they're in the situation that they're in, why their life is the way it is. A lot of times we have a tendency to play the victim card when we don't know, when we can't see what role we're playing in our life. So I went into another room, and it was Breakfast of Champions, and they was talking about the mindset. So they were talking about and what your passion is. Like, when people go for careers, passion, some people have a job and basically they're good at what they do, but they don't have the passion for it. And there's people that have passion, but they're not applying themselves, so it becomes a hobby. Now, a lot of times we have a tendency to say, oh, well, the world is doing this and the world is doing that. And for example, Oprah. Like, one thing I like about Oprah and people like that, now you don't have to like Oprah. There's some people that will say, oh, I don't like Oprah. She's this, she's that, she's that. I'm not concerned with what people do in their personal life or what their political thoughts are or whatever the situation is. I'm concerned about their mind, their mindset. What separates them from the rest of the pack? We know, even if you like or dislike Oprah, we know that basically she has lived her purpose. She has broke many barriers based on her mindset. She has rised above her situation, her physical form. Whatever happened to her in the past, she has rised above it with her mindset. She didn't stay trapped and say, I am a victim. She's living her purpose. Whether you agree or disagree, she is living her life. And the point that I'm trying to make is that the reason why you're in what you're in is because of your mindset. And the people that you hang around, the conversations that you have. If you're sitting around people who are talking about what club they're gonna go to on Friday night, what somebody calls them, whether they be black or white, they're talking about superficial stuff. That's why your life is the way it is, because you're around the people who are talking superficial stuff. So when I went in the room, Breakfast of Champions, and they was talking about some powerful stuff on how the mind works and how the mind doesn't know good or bad. It just knows what you program it. So, for example, it's like a GPA. If I say I want to go to Chicago, it has a map. So I'm mapping out what I want in my life. I'm not thinking about what I don't want. I'm focusing on what I do want. And a lot of times I find, and even as a trainer, when I'm talking to people about their goals and their aspirations in the future, they have a tendency to talk about their past, what happened to them in the past. And a lot of times, people spend a lot of time talking about their past, but they don't know what they want their future to look like. So people spend a lot of time talking about their past. Then when I ask them, so how do you see your future? Oh, well, I never thought about that. Never thought about it. And these are the people who say that life has thrown them a curveball. Why is life like this? Why me? Why me? Why me? Bottom line is that you really didn't map out your life. You don't see your future. So you're constantly living in your past, and you're reliving your past in your present moment. Some people, a lot of people are trauma bonding and living in their subconscious mind. They're not in the present. So when you ask them, like, so what do you want to do with your life? How do you see this playing out? Now, how I got to this point, I'm an athletic person. I set goals. So if I say to myself, you know, I'm track and field, and I want to do the sprint in this certain amount of time. What I do as a person, I go to the gym and I work out. And it doesn't come easy, but you got to work at it. You got to work at it. So how I got this body, and a lot of people say, oh, you have a nice body, you have a nice body. What you're seeing is the work that I put in my body, the food that I put in my body. If left up to my subconscious mind and my old habits, I would be eating the standard American consumption, and I would just not be exercising. But by the mere fact that I put time in and I invest in myself, I get up 5 o'clock in the morning and I work out. Even if I'm tired and it could be a rainy day and I'm exhausted, I still get up. That's the thing. People make excuses. Oh, I want to have a nice body, or I want to lose this weight. But what are you doing to lose the weight? And these are people who just talk and not putting any action behind it. So, and I'm saying this because a lot of times people play the victim card when they're not victims. They're not investing in themselves. So when you don't invest in yourself, you're not a victim. You're getting what you're putting out. You're not investing in yourself. You're not investing in your health. You're eating certain foods that's definitely showing up as far as you being unhealthy and having type 2 diabetes. That all comes with how you invest in yourself. And so a lot of times, and people will say, hey, Delilah, you're kind of like a snob. You're not, you kind of, certain people I won't talk to. Certain people, no disrespect. But my thing is that I want to be in a room full of people that's smarter than me. I want to learn. So a lot of times I'm not going to be the big fish in a small pond. Actually what I do is I take myself out of my comfort zone and I go into a place that's uncomfortable. I'm listening to people having these conversations that I wasn't privy to when I was younger about making money. The energy, money is energy. And a lot of us that comes from poverty mentality don't have a comfortable relationship with money. That's why it's hard for a lot of us to price our product and say, oh, well, maybe that is too much. It's too much because you don't have a comfortable language relationship with money. And a lot of us that grew up in a very challenging situations don't have the comfortable relationship with money. That's why it's hard and challenging for some of us to ask for our price. So I wanted to share that for somebody who's struggling. Please change your circle of influence. If you are the smartest person in the room, go and find another circle where you can grow and become more evolved and become much more of value. Because a lot of times, birds of a feather flock together. If you're not growing and if everybody's complacent, there's no change. Einstein said doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. So what I have done is that I have pulled myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm around other people who are smarter than me, around other people who have a healthy relationship with money. So when I ask for my price for my services, I know my value, I know what I bring to the table, and so I don't have that uncomfortable conversation when I say my price is $300 an hour. And I also know my target audience and my demographics. So definitely, if you have uncomfortable relationship with money where it's hard for you to get your proper price, then that's something that needs to be worked on. Now, I'm working on, and I also hired a business coach. I highly recommend that you invest in yourself. And this is the situation. We're going into 2023. And if you're still having a problem with money and you're still having this poverty consciousness, that's a mindset. You're having issues with money because you're around people who don't value you and they don't value what you bring to the table. So I just wanted to share that. I'm going to drop those gems. I'm going to let you digest on that, and have a nice day. Thanks.